Hello everyone, welcome to the Wealth Energetics class. Today we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of rejection so that you can attract the most amazing clients into your business. So I tried a little bit earlier to come with a video and I had some technical difficulties, so trying it again. So I'd love to see where you guys are coming from, if somebody is watching right now. And if you're watching it on a replay, hashtag replay, that would be awesome, so that I can see you are watching it on the second round. All right, so while it's filling up a little bit, I'm going to check to make sure it's actually live after the last time, to make sure that it is happening. And why is fear of rejection so important? When we are dealing with something so intimate within us as rejection, we end up changing the energetics of how we show up. And that then repels the people instead of attracting the people that we want to work with, right? So I know that if you're watching this, you're an expert, you know what you're doing. You've been doing this probably for a long time. You have your own skill, your own expertise. You probably have a business that's stable and you're kind of been at it for enough time that you know how to handle your clients. But when it comes to showing up and writing something for your clients, or maybe showing up on a video or putting out some content, perhaps you kind of freak out, or maybe you just freeze and you go blank and you don't know what to say or how to say it or something like that. That does happen. That's actually a normal internal response when we have this fear show up. So that is because of the energetics of rejection. And rejection is not something that, like, when people think of rejection, it's like, oh, I'm not afraid of rejection, I show up all the time. Yes, but how do you show up? That's the key. It's really important to be able to understand your own dynamics energetically with rejection and fear of being too much, fear of exposure. That's kind of the same frequency, actually, energetically. Both of them end up sabotaging client attraction. So now, why is this an issue? Like, why are we even talking about this in connection with the clients? Because first of all, one of the things that happen most of the time is, instead of being yourself, if you're afraid of rejection, you show up in a way that's trying to match the clients that you think you're going to bring in. So you're focusing on their frequency, you're trying to match their energy, and then meanwhile, you're not actually broadcasting whatever you came here to broadcast. That's why this is kind of a big deal, because we attract people energetically by being who we are, by being in the ultimate energy of our own mission of what we meant to bring is. Whatever your unique brilliance is, whatever your expertise in the world is, whatever you're actually delivering here in this lifetime, that's the energy that you meant to be in. But when you're not in that energy, because you're trying to kind of twist it into smaller pockets as to what people might like, you're not showing all of who you are. And sometimes I've seen even more when the person is actually not showing whatever their unique brilliance is at all, especially women entrepreneurs, because we so want to connect and please and be in the energy of that our clients like, that a lot of times we end up talking to the incorrect people. We end up trying to give them what they want, but if those are not the actual people you want to pull in to your business as clients, then it does not serve any purpose. It minimizes what you are bringing through and twists it into a way that is not recognizable for the correct client. And it's the correct client that we want to attract, not the incorrect one, right? So that's why it's so important to deal with the fear of rejection that might happen sort of on the background there within your system. Another thing is the most obvious one is if you're afraid that you might be rejected or not liked, or somehow not accepted. Like I hear this all the time, like, oh, I posted and then there's no comments or no likes, or I made a video and nobody responded, or I put out a webinar and I didn't get as many people. Well, that happens, but that's not the cause of concern. It's a cause for testing more and checking and figuring out what else could be modified and simply showing up more. But when we past referencing, we're creating insecurity. So that's the most common component of showing up with the energy that is not in balance with who you are, not truly your brilliance, is that you show up insecure. And when you show up insecure, you're actually putting out the vibration that is an interference pattern to whatever it is that you're trying to deliver. If you're trying to deliver a specific frequency for your clients that you wanted to resonate and for them to respond to you, and then instead you're putting this energy of insecurity, and then it's kind of like you're telling them subconsciously, it's not that good. Whatever I'm, putting out here, don't bother with it. Don't schedule a conversation with me. Don't buy this product. Don't sign up with me because it's not really that good. Now, you might know that you're really, really awesome and you're actually an amazing expert, but unfortunately, when we have the personal insecurity, it's sort of like a wobble. Energetically, it creates this energy wobble that it's like a fuzzy picture. So whoever is responding to us, they're getting a fuzzy picture energetically. And that's a subconscious thing. Most people are not aware of energy. I happen to be clairvoyant, so I actually see energy. But most people don't. Most people just respond to it subconsciously, and this is how you know, like, oh, I just really resonate with this person, or well, I don't really like this person. And it's not about the words so much. Words are very important, but there's actually another component to that, which is the energetics. So the reason that we respond to anybody is because we either synchronize frequency-wise with them or we don't. That's what makes the main difference. So when you are in synchronicity with somebody, you are actually able to convey whatever the frequency that you're bringing through much clearer versus when you are not, even if you're using the correct words in your business, when you're trying to attract clients into your business, okay? And the third component here is the thing that unfortunately happens sometimes is when somebody is afraid of rejection, they might not show up at all. They might feel that this is just too scary, too much, and what if, and all these what ifs happen, and then we kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't just do it. And we talk ourselves out of it. That's the kind of a subconscious little game that we tend to play with ourselves. Well, I'll just write this post later, or I'll just do this video at some other point. I'll finalize this product at some other point. And it might seem kind of reasonable, but it's actually energetically not. It's a way that we're avoiding dealing with the fear. Another way that I've seen people do it is the more kind of go-getter, proactive types. We seem to override the energy. We feel the fear and we just go do it anyway. And even though, yes, everything you want is on the other side of your fear. So yes, you have to go through your fear. That's how it works. That's how this universe is made. That energetically, whatever we want is kind of beyond the fear. So we have to deal with the fear. But how we do it, that's the key. So if the fear in this case that we're talking about rejection, right? So the fear is of rejection or not being liked, or the fear of exposure. Let's say you override it and you do it anyway. That creates a dampening field energetically. What does that mean? That means you're putting out energy there. Here you are in your brilliance. You're putting out something by either putting a little video, maybe it's on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Maybe it's something that you're posting as the text. Maybe you're performing, like literally speaking on stage somewhere. Whatever it is you're doing, you're showing up because you overrid the fear. But if the fear has not been dealt with, where do you think it went? It didn't really go anywhere. It got suppressed. It got pressured and pushed down. And when that happens, it creates a dampening field, which is energetically like a secondary broadcast that minimizes the message that you're bringing. So here you are with all the charge delivering something moving forward, while at the same time, you're also creating a secondary pattern that's stopping everything from coming out. So then whoever is listening, let's say your prospective client, your audience, what they are receiving is not your full expertise and the charge of your brilliance, but they're receiving sort of a minimized version of that, like as if you're underwater, as if you're far away. They can't quite hear it really well. So they might be listening, they might even be resonating and responding because you did show up, but it's so much harder. So if you're noticing that you're doing supposedly all the things right, you're showing up correctly, you're posting, you're visually there, you're doing all the steps in your marketing strategy that you have decided on in order to bring the clients in, but somehow it's just so hard, or it's not working, or whatever, chances are you're creating a dampening field because you're hiding at the same time as you're pushing yourself through that fear. So in order to fully show up correctly, we actually have to deal with the fear correctly. And yes, you still have to go through the fear to get to the other side and show up and do. But the correct action without dealing with the energetic aspect of the fear ends up sabotaging the effort that we are trying to then attract the clients through. So it makes us work many, many times harder. Instead of showing up once and actually getting the response, you might end up having to show up 20 times to get the same response, simply because of the secondary pattern of hiding. Okay, so if we're meeting for the first time, if you don't know me, I am Eugenia Oganova. I am a wealth, energetics, business, and marketing coach for women entrepreneurs who want to up-level their business to multiple six figures and beyond, and do so by aligning the energetics of their business to who they are, so that their business is actually feeling like a perfectly tailored outfit, that they feel free, that they feel like they're in alignment, that they feel good in doing what they're doing, instead of feeling like they're getting burnt out or that they have to sacrifice something that they are. Instead, it actually feels flowing and good. So that's what I do. Now, back to what we were talking about, which is the energetics of rejection. All right, this is a subconscious thing. Most people who are successful, they're not running around saying, oh my God, I'm so afraid to be rejected. We're not. But subconsciously, there is a frequency that is at play that you need to watch out. So why is this happening energetically? Because when you are included, that means you naturally feel physically safe. You feel calm because you're part of the tribe. When you are excluded, you might feel in danger. You might feel like something is missing. You might feel like you're not okay somehow. The reason for that is actually biology, literally our genetics. Genetically, as an animal species from a long time ago, we are tribal species. We congregate together in order to be safe. We're not lone wolf type of people. So that means that your physical body actually feels safer in groups. So for some people, it translates into groups more like emotionally belonging. For some people, it's physically, literally being in groups. But we have throughout the history felt safer when we were together, because we can watch out for each other, versus being alone. And being pushed out of the tribe back in time meant pretty much dying. It meant death. That's it. You know, so being part of the town, being part of the city, being part of a religion, part of a culture, part of a country, all those tribal identities have been throughout history something that we took on as a way to feel safe. And exposing who you are that is different a lot of times than the tribal, which is kind of, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to be different. That's the whole point, right? We are all unique, and what we're bringing is unique. So when you stand out, you in a sense go against that very pattern. You're actually telling your body, go away from the tribe, or tell the tribe you're different. And the body says, are you crazy? I'm going to tell the tribe that I'm different. The tribe is going to kill me. I've experienced that before. I've died many other lifetimes. And we all have. We all have experienced that type of energy from the past, when in some other lifetime we got exposed, we told the truth, we told something that was different than the tribe, and the tribe went and killed us. and at worst maybe pushed us out, and now we died in the wilderness all alone, let's say. So everybody had that experience one way or another, even if you're not conscious of it. But that tends to live inside our physical body. So when our conscious awareness tells our body, okay, we're going to show up, we're going to bring our brilliance, and we're going to serve the people, and we're going to deliver this message, and it's going to be so unique, and it's going to stand out, and it's going to be awesome, all the things that as an entrepreneur you need to do, the body says, but you're gonna kill me. But if I do this, that's a bad thing. That's gonna actually be something dangerous. So we can't do that. So that is the fear of rejection. So I'm not necessarily talking about a typical emotional issue of rejection. I mean, that's just, we need to go to therapy and deal with it. I'm talking about more of the actual energetics of rejection. Instead of attraction, there's a rejection. And there's a terror about it in a physical body, in our genetics. So there are ways that are appropriate ways to handle that, to help the body transmute that energy, so that when you do show up, you don't carry with you that past referencing to the trauma from before. It's a post-traumatic stress essentially that the body has, and it activates it as a self-defense when we tell the body, show up and go and be yourself and be brilliant so that amazing clients can come to you. And then the body says, all right, I suddenly don't want the clients, don't want the business, don't want the money, don't want anything, let's just hide. So that's something that you really need to watch out for when that dynamic occurs. So for your business, you just have to show up, right? You have to be powerful and confident in how you show up. That is a required energy alignment in order to pull in the type of clients that you want to work with, because they need to be able to see your brilliance. And on the soul level, we already contracted with amazing people. Every one of you has thousands of people who are ready to work with you and ready to pay you money, ready to come into your world and get the amazing benefit of your expertise. But even though they exist and you exist, unless you tell them that you exist, they might not know of it. They might not find you. So that's why we have to show up fully as ourselves, without all these dampening, hiding ourselves fields, energetically actually broadcasting who we are. That's how we create the type of resonance that we want with our clients. That's how our amazing clients can actually find us, because they resonate with us and they get, oh my God, I love that energy. Even if I don't know what she said, but I want what she has, what she represents. That's the frequency. That's what you're looking for. But to do that, fear of rejection must be dealt with correctly instead of either avoided or overridden. So when you are not trying to be included, you cannot be rejected. That's the key to the whole puzzle. Just think about that. When you're not trying to be included, you cannot be rejected. The only reason that rejection component exists within our psyche and our energy is because we keep trying to be included. So that right there is a little jewel there that's a key to the whole process. So now let's look at what you can do right now to start dealing correctly with that fear when it shows up. I understand that as successful people in business, this is not something that we're living with every single moment. But every time you start to up level, every time you pivot, every time you adjust the level of the type of a client you want to work with, you're facing that challenge of showing up differently, showing up more, showing even more of who you really are. And that means that fear from your physical body will come to the surface. And it's important to handle it correctly, not only not let it stop us, but also not override it, because that's not going to clear up the dampening field. All right, so the three things that you can start doing right now in order to help yourself transmute that fear correctly. So the first thing is you need to align yourself with something that is bigger than you. It could be your sense of purpose, your divine mission on earth. It could be something that you consider the source. It could be love energy. It could be the universe itself or nature. It doesn't matter what it is, but it has to be something bigger and not human beings, not people. When we do that, that creates a different energy resonance. It creates an alignment with something that you belong to. You end up already belonging to the type of energy that you essentially want other people to respond to, right? Instead of you trying to fit in with the human beings, with the potential clients, you are belonging already to the universe. So then whatever the human beings do, if the groups of people like you or don't like you, accept you or don't accept you, it's much less relevant because you already decided that you belong to the universe. So that's a 1. Number 2 is what you focus on. You need to make sure that you focus on the service energy instead of focusing on yourself. When we focus on ourselves, that's when all the fears and issues come up. What if they don't like me? What if I will be rejected? What if I'm not clear enough? What if what I'm saying is too different? What if, and millions of other things that are all what if. But if instead you go into the energy of, I'm here to serve, I'm here of service for everyone, what that creates is a resonance of you coming already from much higher level, not from the individual self, but from the higher place. You then naturally serving your audience. When you're of service, you feel certain level of like the whole universe is here to be with you, like it's got your back, you're all right, you're not alone in this. So that feeling that the body is scared about, like, oh my God, I'm all alone because I got pushed out from the tribe, that does not activate. It actually gets transmuted because the physical body gets the message from the universe that it's got your back, it's on your side, it's with you as you're delivering whatever your message is. Because now it's you and the bigger something, the universe, nature, source, whatever you believe in. That is what's bringing the energy through you. It's not about you. It's about the service. We're all here to serve. We're all here to deliver our unique brilliance somehow to benefit this planet, to benefit the people on it, to help raise consciousness and create expansion in perception. Everybody has that as their mission. But it looks very different for different people, of course. But that is why we're here. So if you start from that place, that is the ultimate way to transmute the fear of rejection. Because if you're not trying to be included with people, you cannot be rejected by people because you're already included with the universe and you come from the place of service. And the third thing is to have a experiment state of mind. That whatever it is you're doing, it's an experiment. It's not a commitment to, I have to do this, or I have to do this, or I have to do this. Like I'm committing to writing a post, I'm committing to making a video, I'm committing to all those micro commitments. I see this all the time with my clients that when we do that, we get stuck, we get trapped, we then resist and fight because it feels like you just committed yourself to something rigid. Instead, commit yourself to the state of mind of experiment. Everything you're doing, it's an experiment. We're here to create something new anyway. That's the sole purpose pretty much of being human on earth. It's creative self-expression. So creatively express. If you choose to attract to you clients because you want to have them benefit through a specific offer that you created, awesome. But what that means is now go into the energy of experiment with how you are delivering your expertise. Sometimes you might have something and it resonates and it's awesome. Sometimes you might create something and it doesn't resonate and it's not creating certain effect that you maybe wanted. If that happens, ask yourself, am I not feeling right about this? Is this something I actually internally feel like, I should be trying something different? If so, great, go experiment. Or is it something that you might feel a little awkward about or maybe uncomfortable, but you kind of internally still know that this is the correct thing for you to do, and you just have to deal with the issue that came up? That's so great, deal with the issue. So no matter what happens, when we're in a mindset of experimenting, we are open to possibilities. We create that space for us to play with the reality. We are here to have fun, to enjoy, to actually, be in the energy of like, great, let's see what happens. Instead of, oh, if it doesn't happen, then something bad, like fill the blank. We're actually here to play. And to play correctly means that, yes, even though you're responsible, your commitment, that responsibility commitment, is to the state of experimenting, not to the task itself. So those are the three ways to deal with the energetics of rejection. Okay, so today this is kind of the main topic, right? The energetics of rejections. Now you know what you can do as the main pieces of the puzzle for you, right? So to summarize, if you're noticing within yourself when you're starting to up-level your business, or you're pivoting, or whatever it is, and even though you're an expert, even though you know what you're doing, even though you genuinely feel confident, but you're suddenly finding yourself blank when you're writing posts, or not sure what to say, or whatever else, all those things are subconscious signs of the energy of rejection, that fear coming up to the surface. And there are three things that we talked about that you can do right now in order to help yourself deal with that energy correctly, instead of either avoiding or overriding it. Okay, the three things were: one is belong to the universe, two is focus on the service instead of yourself, and three was have a mindset of experiment no matter what you are doing. All right, so this is the Wealth Energetics class for today. The next thing for you to do is to join my Wealth Energetics for Women Entrepreneurs group. It's a free Facebook group, and it's a place where I share all sorts of specific advice and details and techniques on energetics of your business strategy, marketing strategy, sales strategy, client attraction, emotional issues, how to handle anything that you need to essentially be dealing with internally, mindset, and so many other components of energetically handling your business correctly, so that you can up-level your business, and instead of working harder, do so in a way that matches your soul design. So make sure you find the link in the description of this video. Click that link. It will take you to my group, Wealth Energetics for Women Entrepreneurs, and answer 3 questions, and then you will be in the group. Now, if you're already in my group, awesome. I'm so glad you're there, and I will see you inside the group, where, if you have any questions, I will answer anything that you might want to ask me in relationship to what I just talked about, and anything else. My love to you. Have a great day.